I upload daily NBA content on this channel, so if that is something that interests you, then subscribe. Also drop a like on this video. It only takes 1 second and it makes a massive difference. Also, there is a new episode of my NBA series out now. We went over round 1 versus the Miami Heat and that whole playoff series, so go check that out if you have not yet. So today's video is kind of a two-parter. First of all, I'm going to discuss what I believe is a big issue with the Most Improved Player award. And then second, I'm going to talk about the Most Improved Player award race for the 2020 NBA season. So hopefully that makes sense. And when talking about the 2020 race, or 2021 race, I guess, there's probably going to be a good amount of people that I miss on, so just keep that in mind. But I have had an issue with this award for a little bit now that I haven't really expressed in a video until this one right here, obviously, which is that I don't know how much the Most Improved Player award is really about actually improving. Like, if you go back and look at most of the Most Improved Player candidates and winners, almost all of them didn't actually improve all that much. They were just finally given a proper opportunity to showcase their abilities. The best case of a true Most Improved Player that I can think of has to be Jimmy Butler back in the 2014-15 season, because he was a full-time starter previous to winning that award. He averaged 13 points on poor efficiency, and then over the offseason he improved, and suddenly he was an all-star, and then he obviously won Most Improved. That to me is the clearest cut example of a Most Improved Player winner actually having improved. But if you go back and look at many of the winners of this award, and I'd even say a majority of them, it was mostly just more opportunity. There are areas that you can point to where they improved, but it's not like as significant as the more opportunity actually helped with their chances of winning the award, if that made any sense. So most recent example is Brandon Ingram, who just won it with the New Orleans Pelicans. He got more shots in New Orleans. Other than when Zion was playing, Brandon was the clear-cut #1 option when previously he was playing for the Lakers alongside LeBron James. Now, Brandon Ingram, I would say, is a bigger case of more so improvement rather than opportunity, just because he improved his three-point shooting pretty drastically, and he did get similar minutes this year to what he did last year, so I don't think this is a big case, and I actually don't think it's a big case for the next two as well in Pascal Siakam, actually the next three in Pascal Siakam, Victor Oladipo, and Giannis. I would definitely say that this wasn't a huge case of just more opportunity. CJ McCollum, however, on the Portland Trailblazers, that one was definitely just more opportunity. CJ, previous to winning the Most Improved Player in the 2016 season, was coming off of the bench and not getting big minutes. Then the Portland Trailblazers lose LaMarcus Aldridge, Nick Batum, and Wesley Matthews in free agency, and suddenly they're looking for offense outside of Damian Lillard. CJ gets that starting spot, and he averages 20 points per game. That's really just opportunity more so than actual improvement. Then there's Jimmy Butler, which I talked about. Goran Dragic, I don't think there was a strong case of either in that one. Paul George, this one's weird. I would definitely say it's more opportunity because of, actually, I'm thinking of a different year. So yes, this is just more opportunity because of Danny Granger's injury, and then he eventually became like his replacement as Danny Granger just really declined. Ryan Anderson won the award in the 2011-2012 season, and if you go and look at his minutes, he got 10 more minutes per game, and he was given more shots, obviously, off of that. So that was really just, now he's playing more minutes, so he averages 6 more points per game and 2.2 more rebounds per game. Kevin Love before him in the 2010-11 season, another case where suddenly he is playing 7 more minutes per game. A lot of this is just a minutes increase just due to something like that happening with their team. And even though I'm not necessarily saying that those players did not deserve that award, I just think it's worth taking into consideration when actually evaluating who should win Most Improved Player. So like for Brandon Ingram this year, for example, another candidate was Bam Adebayo. He obviously this year was finally given a starting spot with Hassan Whiteside now out of Miami, and he got 10 more minutes per game, and that made a huge difference in his numbers. and how much of Bam this year was an improvement versus more opportunity. Was he this level of player a year ago, but he just wasn't given the opportunity? I would say probably something close to this, because he's been showing flashes of being what he is now, so I would not be shocked if you gave the 2018-19 version of Bam starters minutes, he would have been as good as he was this year. And I just think that needs to be taken into consideration more with this award. I don't think it's a huge issue, but I think it's something that people leave out of the conversation. And I would just say that in the case of if we have two players that are particularly close, you should definitely consider how much of that was opportunity. So like this year, Brandon Ingram, I would say his difference in opportunity from LA to New Orleans was not as significant as the difference of opportunity for Bam Adebayo going from a bench role to a starter's role in Miami was. So when that's a close most improved player race, I give that to Brandon Ingram. I kind of chose Bam Adebayo for my winner just because I like Bam a lot more, but in hindsight, Brandon Ingram should have won that award. So that's just some thoughts on that. Now let's talk about this 2020 most improved player race. This year is going to be interesting, and talking about a lot of the potential candidates, it's a lot dependent on opportunity. So the first guy that a lot of people point to is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He is going to get a lot more shots this year, as Chris Paul and Danilo Gallinari and Dennis Schroeder are now no longer on the team. And he's like the only guy on the team that can create his own shot, really. So he's going to have plenty of shots to take in OKC's system. And his efficiency is probably going to drop. And he's probably going to average like 23 points or so per game. And how much of that from Shai is going to be him improving, really? Is it just not going to be more shots for him? Christian Wood on the Houston Rockets. He's going to be getting more, assuming that Russell Westbrook and James Harden are traded. We're still waiting on that one. Assuming he gets that and he's a full starter at the very least, he's going to have a benefit of a full season being valued at the level of talent that he has that he previously did not have with the Pistons and teams before him. So there's a good chance it's just more opportunity, and Christian Wood was as good next season as he was this season when finally having a starter's role on the Pistons. Jamal Murray, that one wouldn't be the case because he's already getting starters minutes and he took a clear step in the playoffs, so that one's definitely a thing. But another one is Jeremy Grant on the Detroit Pistons, because he clearly went to the Pistons to get more shots. This is not an example of more minutes this time around, but rather his offensive role being changed from being a role player who scores within the flow of the offense to being a leading option on offense. And the fact that he is a lead option on that team offensively is the reason why I think the Detroit Pistons are going to be the worst team in the league, but he is going to have a lot more shots on that team. And because of that, we're going to see a statistical jump. I imagine that Jeremy Grant will probably average around 18 to 20 points per game. How much of that is really an improvement versus just more shots available for him? That's the issue with this award. As for my actual picks for the awards, if Christian Wood and if Russell Westbrook and James Harden are traded from the Rockets, I would bet $1 million on Christian Wood winning that award, because I very much believe that Christian Wood is an all-star caliber talent offensively at the very least, someone who can average an efficient 20 points per game, be a very good stretch four, and score in the post, score in the pick and roll, score at the basket, score off of the dribble as a power forward, pretty athletic, just the total package offensively for a power forward outside of like playmaking. So if I had to make a pick, assuming those guys are traded, I'm going to go with Christian Wood. Outside of that, I probably go Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And what's unfortunate is I don't think Shai is really going to be that much better than next season than he was this season. He might improve his three-point percentage a bit. He might he'll be taking more shots. Maybe he'll average more assists. I'd bet he would, because who else is going to dribble the ball on that team? But it's not going to be an actual real improvement. I'm not saying that there's like Shai's not going to improve next year. There's a good chance that he does. There's also a real chance that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not much better next season than he was this season, but he averages like 5 to 7 more points per game because he just has more shots available and he is now officially the leading man. So it's for that reason that I think this award has issues with it, and I think that should just be taken into consideration when talking about who should be winning this award. But yeah, that's kind of some thoughts about the Most Improved Player award that probably nobody cares about, but I thought I'd just put those thoughts out there. But with that out of the way, again, go check out that My NBA video. I would really appreciate those videos getting support. So far, the support over there has been fantastic, and I love making those videos. So if you guys can get even more support over there, it's just more fantastic stuff for me, and I like good things. Hot take. That is the end of this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe for more NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.